Hey there, Descendants, my fellow Americans, and people in other countries around the world. How are y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Before we get into today's video, if you do enjoy the content that you see, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down below and hitting that like button if you like what you see. And also, if you're in the market for some energy supplements, head on over to w.gg and use code Descending Earth at checkout. That's capital A, capital R, no space, though I'm not sure if the capitalization matters. Today, we're just going to be talking about my thoughts on the current state of the game. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alrighty, here we are, and one of the first things that I actually want to talk about is probably some of the things that I don't necessarily love that they've been doing recently. It's not a long list by any means. Surprise, surprise, the TFD stand has a short list of qualms that he has with the game in its current state. But I kind of just want to address these things because it seems a little bit strange to me. I mean, we're going to be using Serena. We're going to start off with, her number reduction on her pure gunning build in favor of the Transcendent weapons coming out, right? So this conceptually by itself is not a bad thing, right? Like, I don't think that, reducing her numbers because more powerful weapons are going to be coming out is a bad thing. What I think is, I don't know if I want to say it's bad, but it's something that I don't like. What I don't like about it is simply the fact that we're doing this nearly 2 months ahead of schedule. Why are we reducing the abilities of one of her most prominent builds in the game for weapons that aren't coming out until, I don't know, like late August? Like, I don't understand the logic behind that. I'm not sure if they have so many contractual constraints or like, scheduling issues that are happening between now and when, the Transcendent weapons dropped to where they felt like they needed to reduce her abilities this early. But it's definitely something that I don't necessarily like, especially considering the fact that Battlefield None compared to just her regular gunning build, it's not even close, man. Like, why would you, obviously after the Transcendent weapons drop, things are going to change a little bit, but going forward, why would you, like, between now and then, even use her gunning build? It's just going to be shelved. And, that by itself isn't, like, necessarily why I have an issue with it. The reason why I have an issue with it is because it's not promoting individualized styles of gameplay. Like, for example, Serena is one of the most versatile characters in the game, and with the two new Red Transcendent modules that have just came out, she's become even more of a versatile character in the game. She has even more builds that you can utilize, that you can, craft together and basically tune it to your personal playstyle. And I think that's really important, especially in a game like this, where the gameplay is going to be the main thing that people are coming to this game to enjoy, right? The way the game feels, how it plays, how each character feels different from one another, how each character has at least 2 or 3 builds, whereas Serena's always had 3 or 4, and now she has about 5 or 6. And when you take one of these builds away, you're actively working against promoting, expressing individuality in the player base to an extent, right? It's not that deep, but conceptually that's how it is, right? Because it's like, okay, why are we reducing these numbers this early? I would understand if it was like 2 weeks out from the Transcendent weapons coming out. It's like, okay, like they're preparing her, the Transcendent weapons are 2 weeks away, that's fine, you know what I mean? But we're over a month away. Well, we're probably like less than a month away now, but when the changes happened to her gunning build, we were well over a month away. It was like a month and a half to 2 months. I can't take that with a grain of salt, but that's something that I just felt I need to address because I don't necessarily agree with that decision, right? So now I'm sure, like I said, there's probably something going on behind the scenes to where they felt it was necessary to do it this early. But even then, it's like, why was there something getting in the way of properly mitigating her numbers closer to the release date of these extremely powerful, brand new rarity of weapon classes coming out, right? So, another thing that I feel like I need to address before I get into the things that I find to be overwhelmingly positive. I've noticed for the last few times that I've played and fought Wall Crasher, I've loaded in the middle of the match. Like the countdown's already done. People are already dealing significant damage to Wall Crasher, and I mean, it's not that huge of a deal because you're kind of getting the rewards for free at that point. But for me personally, I actually quite like fighting the Wall Crasher, even though I've done it over 100 times at this point, well over 100 times. I don't necessarily get bored of it. It's just something nice to do. It's something that I can look forward to every hour on the hour. You know what I mean? It's something that I like to look for, and I like to have the entire countdown. Basically, I like to have the full experience of fighting Wallcrasher the one time per hour that I'm gonna fight him. I don't like loading in and just getting free loot from it. I don't like that. I feel like they need to fix that. The last and final quote-unquote negative thing that comes to mind is going to be the fact that they still haven't fixed the keyboard disappearing on PlayStation 5. I mean, this game's 2 years old. This has been here since I came back to the game January of 2025 or December 2024. It was one of those when I came back to the game, and I've experienced this at least once a week, every week since then, to where, okay, you're typing something out, like say you're on the module screen, you're typing something out, and then it just completely shuts down the keyboard, right? Doesn't happen a lot, but it's still an issue that needs to be addressed because it would take, I guarantee it would take 10 minutes to an hour at most to fix this, and it would be like a 10 megabyte update. I mean, it would be so easy to fix it, I feel like, at least. Because it's a crashing issue, and I feel like it's something to where it's how the PlayStation 5 version of the game interacts with the engine that the game runs on, or something along those lines. I don't know, I don't know all the specifics or the in-betweens, ins and outs and stuff like that, but anyway, moving on to the positive things. Let's see if we can find it here. Let me see. Is it this? Yeah, so here we go. Okay. So, the fact that the first Descendant has officially received an equivalent to major orders from Helldivers. It's a big win. It kind of feels like I'm the only person who asked for this. But this is huge, especially for me. And as you can see, we have 100% world completion, which is very, very nice. Personal completion, we have over 50%. I just haven't played a whole lot lately. What is this for? Okay, Sigma Sector. Okay, yeah. I mean, I can do that whenever I finish this video, recording this video. Another thing is, besides Serena, and I haven't used every character after their readjustments and stuff like that. I've used Viessa ever since she was readjusted for whenever, oh, well, Haley's in this slot right now, but usually Viessa's here for me. You know, I've used Viessa ever since they reworked her for Onslaught. I actually just used Blair to go ahead and finish his mission for the firepower checkpoint mission. Still gotta kill 4,076 enemies with him, but anyway, Blair feels good to play. Blair feels good to play is my point here. So does Valby. Valby's, what do you call this? Her hammer and anvil build is actually quite fun. I have a lot of fun with that, especially in Onslaught. I'm not the best at it solo, but it's really, really fun and really reliable with a group of, you know, 1 or 2 friends to go along with you in Onslaught. It's pretty neat. So I like that. And overall, you know, like the quality of life changes, like, oh, one of the biggest things, right. I'm so glad I remember this. This is one of the biggest things right here. So, if you guys watch some of my older videos, one of the things that I primarily asked for in every single video, essentially, was a way to expand the ETA Zero Shop to where we're getting rid of more of the clutter in our inventory, our consumables, you know what I mean? We're getting rid of the fluff and stuff like that. Well, lo and behold, they didn't include it in the ETA Zero Shop, but they did include it here via Info Grid Exchange and Info Grid Extraction. So this is blueprints exclusively. Okay, but the point is that this is a really good answer to what I was asking for. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not an actual expansion of the ETA Zero Shop, of course. But this is a step in the right direction, and a big one at that. This is a big step in the right direction. I'm really happy about this, that the fact that they included this, and I feel like it makes more sense to do it here versus at the actual ETA Zero Shop, but I still think for the ETA Zero Shop they need to expand the limit of ETA vouchers that you're able to hold. I don't think 600 is nowhere near enough. I know the green ones, I believe the upper limit is 1,500. And so that's okay, but the yellow and the red ones only being, I believe, 600, that still needs to change. But I digress. Overall, you know, I'm really happy with the game. The Evangelion collaboration was nice. You know, it's still technically active, of course. But we are kind of in a dry period in the game right now, you know? So we have a little bit less stuff to do. You know, we're kind of winding down. And honestly, one more point of criticism, quote unquote, that I can give to, you know, the TFD guys, to Nexon, to Jason, and Minsuck Jew if they're watching this, which they might be, they might not be, who knows. But next year for anniversary, we have to release more than one character, dude. I know this isn't necessarily a gacha game, but Dragon Ball Legends had their anniversary. It was like the middle of the anniversary when TFD had its anniversary. And I understand that it's a mobile game, it's a gacha game. Like most of the only content that they have is new characters, or like, you know, making old characters stronger, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. I understand that. But what was wrong? Why couldn't we have just pushed Raven to be a July release, and then push Ultimate Haley to be like a late August release, like August 25th or 26th or something like that? Why couldn't we release Raven for the anniversary? I'm not trying to poke holes in their schedule or their efforts or anything like that, but it feels like the anniversary was just ever so slightly uneventful and underwhelming. I understand it's only the second anniversary. You know, they only have so much that they can do. It's a live service game. There's all kinds of contractual obligations, this, that, and the other. You know, and they're making the IP on their own. They're crafting it from the ground up, essentially, by themselves. But it's still, I mean, just one female character per anniversary. Now, I understand that they reworked some of the older female characters to be better, like Valby, I believe. Yeah, she got her rework during the anniversary, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But just one new female character. Like, because for me, the best part of playing this game, besides how the game actually feels and besides experiencing the movement and, you know, like the satisfaction that I get from that, the best thing besides that for me is working on new characters, especially new female characters. That's my favorite thing to do in this game. I mean, weapons, I mean, yeah, that, you know, that's cool too. But actually grinding for new female characters is the bee's knees, especially for me. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, though, I think we're in a really good spot right now. You know, I don't think there's a whole lot that I can complain about. I mean, I probably complained a little bit more than I praised the game in this video. But I definitely feel like we're in a really good place right now. Especially, like, you know, as a community. I know that not everyone loves this game. I know a lot of people are still stepping away from the game and, you know, whatever else the case might be. But for me personally, I love it. You know what I mean? And I feel like my video where I was talking about 2026 being a lot better for the game, so far, I think that video is aging quite well. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, it comes with the territory with games like this, right? Like, maybe everything that I said I wanted to see in 2026 in that video has yet to come to fruition, but it's also nice that we are actually seeing the developers implement player feedback into the game whenever they see fit. I think that's massive. I think that, you know, this is something that's taken for granted, especially in a lot of, like, for a lot of gamers, you know. They're just used to, like, buying the yearly games that they buy or whatever the case might be, and then that's it. You know, they play the game for, like, 3 to 6 months and then they drop it and buy something else, whatever. No, I feel like, you know, again, I feel like we're lucky as a community. We are definitely lucky to have these guys on our side, right? Because some of us, we straight up just don't deserve it. Some of us are just extremely ungrateful. We don't practice any sort of gratitude for their efforts whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for what's to come, and I guess that's about it. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.